Hi there. Vechain has rebounded last week, but this week it returned to somewhere it started off last week as well. So what's actually going on? And also, welcome to this Wyckoff technical analysis session for Vechain, and we'll go through both the weekly and daily chart and see what's happening. If you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key takeaways you can expect. So let's start with the weekly chart and look at the big picture. Here we see 3 candlesticks with their body tail, the end of the body, landing above the red key level of 1 cent 50. Okay, that's where the spring currently sits at. Alright, for the Wyckoff accumulation cycle. The price, other than the October 10th event that tested a very old date, 5 years ago, November 2020. Alright, that's where October 10th tested. And during the spring, here we see another spring that tested the same level just back in May 2023, May-June time. That's where last week tested. Alright, so these levels are not something that hasn't been seen in Vechain history. So while this is developing, a good sign has shown up. When we get to the daily chart, I'll tell you what that is. As of now, from the big picture point of view, there is still chance, like I shared before already, this kind of sideways trading continues. It has lasted for 3 weeks already. This is the 3rd week that the trading has been between this 1 cent 50 to 1 cent 80 between these 2 levels. And we hope to see the price to go up to around this white line, around 3 cents 15 to show us a sign of strength. So the sign of strength happened back in late July, and for 4 months the price hasn't challenged this white line yet. So that's something we hope to see before, that's a positive sign before the next distribution can happen. And it's time to get to the daily. So the positive thing is, last Friday, November the 7th, the day that we said very close to what I shared before, that the uptrend is potentially pointing towards a breakout opportunity. And indeed it happened on Friday. Even though the breakout got rejection from above this 1 cent 80 level, the level that we have just seen earlier. Alright, it's still closing higher than the red key level of 1 cent 50. So that's the positive sign, and the subsequent 8 days continue to trade sideways, staying above the red key level. And looking at the volume, the days that it dropped, it wasn't very high. It's actually a very low level. So it seems like in the short term, Vechain is stabilizing at the current key level. So here, that's what we said last time, that expect more tests. Indeed, it happened. The test continues. That's a test of demand. Okay, so this line is no longer useful. The breakout has already happened. Currently, this trend, assuming there is one, that has started, it's still a baby trend that's still forming. So we'll have to adjust this trend box, or what I call the air hockey table. If you're new to this and you ask about why I call this an air hockey table, the reason is the price actions tends to bounce off between the edges and sometimes taking a pause along the center line. As of now, it's still too early to draw a center line. And the box itself, we only have 3 reference point now, so there may still be adjustment when it further develops. But looking at where it's heading, assuming it's going to trend up instead of just trading sideways. Eventually, it will get to this point near November 29th, so 2 weeks later. The breakout can happen sooner, but somewhere between now and then, in these 2 weeks, the price actions is going to confirm one thing. Either it's continue to trade sideways because there's not enough confidence within the market to bring Vechain further up to a sign of strength. Okay, if that's the case, that's going to extend the accumulation cycle. Or the second scenario, that it breaks above this 1 cent 80 line that you see for 5 days over the past 9-10 days. The price has been rejected from that point, or even just 2 days ago. 7 days in total. This has been a short-term strong resistance that's driving or bouncing the price off from after challenging the ceiling as well as challenging this resistance line. So to break above this and confirming this uptrend to continue is a positive sign that we hope to see. That's the very first step for it to head towards the sign of strength. Okay, even though the trend or the rate may not be as steep as you want, it's still good enough to bring it into near Christmas, I would say. If I extend this box, if it follows this current rate of climb, somewhere between Christmas and like the year end, if this trend isn't broken and it only trades on the weak side, meaning the lower half close to the bottom, it will eventually get close to or challenge the orange key level of 2 cents 60 somewhere around Christmas. Alright, so that's a positive scenario. Okay, I've shared both this less positive and a positive one. Pessimistic, I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, these two support levels that we already talked about. One is this around 1 cent 30, the other is around 1 cent. Okay, those are the levels that's been tested already just in October and November, and further back in history, those are the reference levels that we can track back all the way till 2020. And obviously in the middle, it has been tested in 2023 as well. So Vechain, yeah, it showed a sign of a slight recovery last week. This week it returns to another week of test, but with 29 hours left and it stabilizes above the red key level, it's already something better than last week where it tested the 2.5 year low. Okay, so thanks for joining me for this Vechain session, and thanks for joining me if you were with me in the previous sessions for Bitcoin, ICP, and Dogecoin, and asking a lot of very interesting questions. See you in future. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and tomorrow we've got more sessions to come, but I'll be doing it in stealth mode. So keep in touch.